Hey Aaron, thanks for joining me today.
Yo, glad
Right.
to be here.
Okay, let's get this show on the road.
Yeah.
Auto play. Right, so today I'm gonna interview Aaron Ming. He's an illustrator and he goes by the name NimNorra. Is that how I pronounce it?
Yeah, it's just my name backwards.
Oh, damn, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
So this is the first time that both of us are doing this sort of thing. I look up to Aaron for quite some time already, so that's why he's one of the first few guests that I would like to find out more about his art journey, and I hope that it inspires you guys. Okay, so first question, Aaron, can you do a simple introduction about yourself and your reason for doing what you do now?
Yeah, hello, I'm Aaron. I am an illustrator who mainly focuses on splash arts. Me and Mujin actually met through Cheng Wei Pan's class, which is how we ended up becoming friends in the first place. Um, and me personally, I've been doing illustration for like most of my life. I'd say up until high school, I've always been drawing and solidifying my fundamentals. And then up until college, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna pursue illustration because I would see like these awesome illustrations made by Riot, and it would inspire me a lot. And so that's kind of how I started on my journey. But yeah, I mainly do illustrations and from time to time a little bit of concept art.
That's cool. So the slides that I prepared that the viewers are looking at it are artworks from your Artstation. So can you tell us more about your artistic background and your journey so far up to this point?
Yeah, sure. So I started ever since I was a kid to draw, to be honest. My parents always made me do a bunch of extracurriculars as a kid. And then I never really took it seriously. I would always quit a little and go back to it, but not really take it seriously. But I was kind of known where I went to school as kind of the art kid. So that kind of had some sort of foundation in me as like, oh, I can like it. It made me believe that I can draw, and it gave me some sort of confidence with my artistic ability. But I never really took it seriously until grade 10. And that's when I stumbled upon a video that was like from an artist explaining how she was making a career out of making art. And then I never really considered that, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life up until grade 10, and I was really considering that during that time. And so because I saw that video, it really inspired me to like decide on what I actually want to do with my life. And basically, the video said something along the lines of, your career is pretty much 40 to the next 40 to 50 years of your life. What is it that you really want to do with those years? And the one thing that I didn't want to do was become something that I hated doing, like, for example, doing computer science or becoming a doctor. And then after those 50 years looking back and feeling like, damn, it was a safe career path, but I wish I did something that I actually like enjoyed doing. I don't want to regret not doing something that I always loved. And art was something that, I've always had a natural, not natural talent, more so that I was kind of raised with a lot of extracurriculars including art. So yeah, because I already had an affinity for art at that point, I was like, why not give it a shot? And because of that, I took art very seriously from that point on in grade 10, and I would take actual classes at an art atelier close to me, which is basically a fancy word for an art school. And the teacher would basically just sit me down, put a very plain master study of a sphere shaded with like graphic pencil, and then I would have to do a one-to-one copy. And so I did that for a while, and that really solidified my fundamentals. And then after that, around like grade 12, I'd say, I started to delve into more like other types of fundamentals. For example, Proco. I tried learning anatomy and just painting in general from Ahmed Al-Duri. And then around that time, I finally went to college, and somehow my parents were okay with me going to illustration as a career and let me go to Sheridan because I convinced them a lot through my hard work. And I ended up realizing Sheridan wasn't really for me because I feel like a lot of art colleges, in my opinion, is very they make you pay a lot, and you spend a lot of time, effort, and energy. Your blood, sweat, and tears all goes into school, but then none of it was actually down the path that I wanted to, which was like entertainment illustration, kind of like League of Legends splash arts at the time. But honestly, any entertainment splash art, just I mean illustrations in general, like just trading card art or even tabletop RPG games. Where was I? But yeah,
The RPG.
I decided to drop out of school. Yeah, I decided to drop out of Sheridan and then have been pursuing a freelance career ever since then. Yeah.
Wow, that's quite a journey.
Yeah, it really has been.
So what are your current goals and aspirations as an artist, both in the long and the short term?
My current aspirations and goals, I'd say short term is to get my life in a more stable place, because as we all know, the industry isn't looking so great right now, and the economy is not doing so well. So right now, I'm just trying to get my life stable, get a stable income, you know, because freelancers can be a little unstable. But besides that, my long-term goal would probably be something along the lines of starting like having a lot more passive income streams. So doing something like YouTube, Patreon, or and just like on top of that, a lot of freelance work, and hopefully I can build my brand up enough until I have like a solid source of income from different things.
That's cool. So I noticed that your artistic style is quite realism. Has it always been this way, and how has it evolved over time?
It's always been pretty realistic, to be honest, but it's been heavily influenced by like I mean obviously League of Legends splash art. I mean I don't want to make my entire like art style League of Legends, and I've thought a lot about it, and that's not the direction I want to go down anymore. But it's definitely really influenced by that sort of semi-realistic stylized art that's like clean and realistic, but also not realistic to the point where it's like a one-on-one, you know, proportions or like realistic textures to real life. Like it's not photorealism, but it's also not. It's definitely more on the realistic side. Yeah.
So are there any artists that influence your work significantly?
Of all the people, I mean, of all the artists that I really look up to, I'd say the biggest influence on my art journey was Ahmed Al-Duri. Like, I remember there's a period of time where I would literally follow his every single like YouTube video, like watch everything, buy his Gumroads, and I pretty much like treated his advice like the Bible, you know, like I really looked up to him, and not that I don't anymore. It's just kind of grown out of his content as of lately. But yeah, he was the foundation of how I learned how to paint, and so I always appreciate him for sharing so much valuable content for me to get to where I am today.
Sounds like he's the MVP of your artistic journey at the beginning, up to
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
So how
like
do
the biggest influence.
oh
Sorry, go on.
yeah, sorry, how do you navigate challenges or creative blocks during your artistic process?
How do I navigate creative blocks? I honestly, in all honesty, I don't tend to have creative blocks just because I hear a lot of people saying they get creative blocks, but that's not something that hits me often just because I feel like I'm always inspired by something and that feeling of inspiration makes me want to draw more. So for example, like whenever I see like a painting that has like a really cool way of painting the face or a certain part of the body, or like they use colors in a really interesting way, as soon as I see it, I'm just like, oh man, I want to start painting now too, you know? And so like whenever I'm losing inspiration or motivation from like different things in life, um I just open up something that I find looks really cool, and then I just want to start painting again.
Nice. So,
Hmm.
being a beginner yourself at one point, so what advice would you give to aspiring artists who are just starting their artistic journey?
They're just starting.
They just
Um,
starting, yes.
I'd say if you're just starting, don't worry about all the fancy illustration, splash art stuff, and like rendering and all that. Just focus on your fundamentals. Like, for example, knowing like all the boring stuff, knowing how to shade a basic sphere with a pencil. Like learn, like eat all your art vegetables, if you will, and then once you're ready, then just like take it step by step. Don't try to jump to the final, like a full on illustration on your first attempt, because it'll be super challenging for your skill level, and you'll find that it'll cause you a lot of frustration. And just take on challenges that you feel like you can take on for your skill level, and just take it one step at a time.
So, so I know that you have been working on a YouTube video that's gonna help aspiring artists or artists in general. Do you want to like talk about it?
Yeah, sure. I created a video recently. Actually, I haven't uploaded it yet, but I'm literally just about to. And it's just a video explaining my process on how I ended up creating my most recent piece, which is a cane splash art. Um, and in the video, I kind of share all the mentalities that I had to go through, and a lot of tips and tricks that can help people when approaching an illustration like that. Um, but yeah, my goal with YouTube is not very clear right now. I'm not sure if I want to do it as a hobby purely or as a full-time thing. I mean, I'm kind of going with the flow as I go with it right now. Like if it goes well, then I'll consider doing more. But I do really enjoy the idea of creating something like what Ahmed Al-Duri did for me, which was helping the next generation of artists grow and prosper and be even better than me in the future, you know, and foster a community that really wants to inspire each other and has a, like and motivates each other, and has like an overall positive attitude towards their art journey.
Wow, that's pretty noble of you.
Mm.
So, I'm also aware that you participated in a lightbox competition recently. Do you want to tell us more about it?
Oh yeah. Um, yeah, so one of our mutuals, Mujin, Kuya, hit me up about the Lightbox competition. It's not that I've never done the Lightbox competition. I actually did it the year before. But he reminded me that it was happening right now, and so when he reminded me, I was like, oh man, I have to go at it again. And I instantly hit up my most trusted art friends, and we were like really excited about the project. And we ended up recruiting a really cool team of amazing, talented artists. We got like super good 3D artists like my friend Brian and Sean, and then we also had a bunch of cool illustrators and visual development artists, and we ended up coming up with a really cool piece. but and unfortunately we didn't win. But it was a really fun project to work on. Just working with people, organizing a team, and while it was stressful, it was definitely like a experience. I might even consider doing it again.
Congrats on reaching top 10, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and shout out to Kuya for always like helping us and the art community in like providing value and feedback.
Yeah.
So throughout my time with you, like you have always like helped me and you are very clear in your teaching and you're like always willing to share. So I always thought that you would be a good teacher and mentor one day. So is there a possibility that you will like teach and mentor in the future? Maybe once you have more
Yeah,
job experience. Yep.
yeah, there's definitely a possibility for that. Although definitely not anytime soon, just because I feel like I need to solidify my own career first. Which is gonna take a while considering the recession and everything, but I'm definitely considering it. And you never know. Maybe one day when I'm more stable in life, then that would be an awesome thing to try.
Anyways, I was thinking of creating a Discord group where artists could upload their artworks into the channel in the critic section, and I could do a paint over on their work or maybe write down some notes on it and we upload it in JPEG or PSD format into the Discord channel to help them. And if there are a lot of entries, I would probably record a video of me doing the paint over on the spot and uploading it on YouTube to help whoever I think I could help. If you think that I could help you, please feel free to do so. And anyways, thank you, Aaron, for your time.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
And I hope this interview will be able to help some of you in one way or another. Thank you.